everybody out there who is joining us on this. Thank you for joining us. So this is really cool. So I had this email telling me what you're doing, and I don't properly understand it. So for my benefit, if it's not too much while you're doing this, can you just fill me in?
Absolutely. So you may or may not know what I normally do. So I'm an artist who normally paints with radio control cars. So normally that's what I'm painting with.
I have seen your work many times. I've seen the brilliant work you do with Aston Martin, because you've worked with them, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
And I've seen brilliant work that you've done at places like Goodwood. So I do know they are utterly mind-blowingly good. Haven't you done stuff at Le Mans as well?
Done stuff at Le Mans. I did do it for 14 years. So
yeah, it's amazing.
So I've been lucky enough to travel with it. I've done F1, touring car, worked for manufacturers, etc., etc. Much like yourself, like I've kind of, I create for the industry, for many manufacturers. So, but obviously those artworks are very big. They're 2.5 meters by 1.5 meters. My house isn't that big, I've been, so in terms of working from home, I'm not able to produce the paintings in the normal way I do. My studio is shut. I've been working at home for 5 weeks, and in that time I thought I'd better do something different and engaging, so people can engage with it on social media. So what I've been doing is I've been doing continuous card drawings. So I put the pen down on the paper. I will draw a basic outline of the car you see on the screen, which is the electric Mini, the Mini Electric. And so I'll draw a basic outline in 5 minutes, or less than 5 minutes. I'll get an outline done. And then it'll end up looking like something like this in about 40 minutes.
Amazing.
I'm doing electric with you because you are, your knowledge of electric vehicles and the Mini Electric, that's what I want to hear about. So we've done some of the classic Mini stuff and the kind of the well-known, the kind of the Cooper stuff. But now I want to talk about electric Mini, but also I want to find out about you. So what we do was to introduce this whole drawing. You tell me, Ginny, about what you've done over the time. You're a very experienced journalist. I've read the bio and wow, amazing stuff. One thing what did stick out was your interest in STEM and because my wife is actually an engineer for Worcester Bosch, and so she is involved with women in engineering from a heating perspective. So that was something that really kind of, I was like, I want to find out how you're encouraging that and how you're doing that as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, you get cracking. I'm gonna watch and comment and chat. And somebody I know.
Did you prefer?
Oh, there's one. Have you got the one with it going through the puddle of water? Okay. There's quite a nice one where it just splashes through a big puddle of water. Okay. Well, I like that one that you've got on there. But the one back, that one. And do you know what? Any ideas, team, who are out there, what those wheels are called? Because they're very apt for the moment, those alloy wheels. Do you have an idea what they might be called, anyone? Does anybody out there know? Yeah, I know you know. Listen, if you want to join in with this one, I'm not going to tell you yet, but the wheels on the new Mini Electric, which are the ones that give it that kind of funky feeling that you know it's electric. So if you want to be obvious about your choice, then you go for the one with the bright yellow accents and the silver, and you have those kind of cross wheels that look a bit like that. Let me know. Now, power spoke. Listen, somebody's just corrected me. It's a power spoke. So let me know if you know what those wheels are called, and I won't tell you yet. So you're not actually going to take a break. This is all one continuous line. This is
all one continuous line. Yeah.
I'm in absolute awe. So yeah, somebody down there said that I was distorted, which I feel quite distorted. Generally,
Wi-Fi or on?
I am. I went into the garden. Sorry, I'm back inside now on the Wi-Fi. That's why I came back inside. And generally, life is making me feel a bit distorted at the minute. So that's probably not a bad description. So yeah, so going back, so cars are something that I've always loved. As you said, I've been 22 years I've been working in the car industry and reviewing cars and writing about them and filming with them. And I actually remember when the Mini first came back.
Oh, oh no. Oh no.
Concept car shown. I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. I can hear you.
Some way back in the early days of my career, I remember being at the Geneva Motor Show when a concept car called Spiritual was shown. And this was Mini's example of what the Mini could look like if it was going to come back, which was in the early days of this plan happening. And there were two concepts called Spiritual 1 and Spiritual 2. And I don't know if anybody remembers those. Worth going to look them up. Just Google them or look them up on YouTube. And actually the Mini that it is, as it did come back, looks nothing like either of those. And I have to say, I think that's quite a good thing. So find Spiritual 1 and Spiritual 2 if you want to see what the Mini could have looked like. So 22 years ago, I started doing car stuff back in the days of a channel called Granada Men and Motors. And I worked with a whole series of people on there, different journalists. Richard Hammond was on that. It was his first job in TV. He and I used to present a programme together called Four Wheels Good. So I've been around for quite a long time. But one of the things that I've been doing for a long time as well is I'm the trustee of a charity called the Manchester United Foundation, and we work with 22,000 young people all across the Manchester area, and we work globally as well on a number of projects. And from that has come a real interest in I guess just empowering young people and in seeing, what difference having a passion can make to people. So obviously we're a sports charity, so we do a lot of work in sport, and that's naturally led into us pushing out into STEM generally, which is science and technology, engineering and maths. And also, what's really interesting is that as a sports charity, it would be quite easy to assume that we work with just a lot of boys, and we don't. We work with an equal number of boys and girls. And for me, that, again, is brilliant because it's just empowering young girls to get involved with sport. It does loads of fantastic things for their confidence. And we do a lot of work there with opening them up to new opportunities. So one of the things that we did, have you ever seen the movie Hidden Figures? I don't know if you've seen that one. It's about the females that were involved in getting the man on the moon.
Oh,
so in the NASA, yeah.
Yeah, the three females.
Yeah,
the NASA. Yeah.
It's a good movie. It's a really good film. So we did a premiere of that, and we held the UK premiere of that, and it was for a load of schoolgirls, and they came along, and we had a panel of people like there was a NASA astronaut there, and we had scientists, and we had Rachel Riley from Countdown, and we did lots of work around STEM to encourage them in STEM. So yeah, we do lots of things like that as well. So that's a different string to my bow, something that I get a lot of pleasure from doing. But yeah, cars has been, gosh, a big part of my life.
There is the basic outline.
Yay! And how long did that take you? I love
5
that.
minutes.
That is amazing. Got the plug?
Right.
Have you got the wall box?
Got the plug? Yes.
Got the charging?
No, I will add that in. I'll find that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, isn't it? Very cool.
So how did you start, like, way back in your first study, how did you get into it? What made you go, right, oh, that's what I want to do?
I think it always comes from being quite young, doesn't it? A passion passion for cars is always something that you inherit from your family, and mine came from my dad, as I suspect does lots of your passions. Yeah, he just had 2 daughters, and he loves football and he loves cars. So we grew up both loving those things as well. And as a kid, I was taken to lots of car shows. He was a VW fanatic, so he used to collect all kinds of really unusual things. Cars like a VW Trekker, which is a sort of really cool. Do you remember that? Really cool.
Yeah,
really quite.
I've got 3 friends who own them.
Really?
Yeah. I could send you a link. Yeah. So there's a friend of mine called Anthony's got one. Josh, who's a jeweler, has got one. And then there's
They're
another
amazing.
chap who's got an absolute pristine red one, and it's beautiful. It's like, it's Concours edition. It's beautiful.
They are really cool. So the side panels all fold down, the glass panels, don't they? And it's such an amazing, quirky car. So he never had a huge amount of money to spend on his cars, but he was always really imaginative. So we had Beetles played quite a big part in my childhood. VW camper vans. We had what do we do? We had MGB and MGB GT that I remember, that was British Racing Green. And we drove to the south of France in that on holiday, and I had to sit in that little jump seat at the back the whole of the way down to the south of France when I was about 9. So cars just played a big part in my family, and we always used to name our cars as well. I don't know if any of you out there ever do that, but we had cars that always had to have a name. They were very much part of the family. So it just came from that, really. Came from an interest, and I like the stories behind the cars. I was always interested in, particularly with VW, the advertising around it. I like the stories about the people that design the cars. I like the stories that people have about how cars have played an important part in their life. So I guess it was that, really, that dragged me into it. So what about you? How did you get into drawing cars like that?
So I, much like, family, my uncle, Paul Davis, is still at JLR now, but he was a designer at Rover. So he was part of the Rover 25, 45, 600, Metro, Mini. So my uncle worked through Austin Rover, was when I was growing up, was my uncle. And I was taken to, I did my work experience at what was then Rover before it was bought by Ford, before it was bought by Honda. So it was still a Rover company, essentially. And my uncle, I was able to shadow my uncle for a week and I wanted to be a car designer. That's what I wanted to be when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And I did a week's work experience with him. I really enjoyed it. I sat in the Mini before it was released. I remember sitting in a pre-production Mini.
Wow.
And on the test track, after being thrown around the test track in a Rover 200. You know, remember the Rover 200 BRM, the green one with the orange grille?
Yeah, maybe.
So,
kind of,
yeah. So
let me look it up.
The BRM Rover 200.
Okay. VRM. Let's have a look. Was it?
So it's green.
Oh yes. Oh, I do. I've got it here. Yes, I do. It's a wide mouth frog car, isn't it?
So.
Yeah, that's
So exactly. Yeah. So I did a week's work. So I did a week's work with my uncle, and I learned lots and lots about car design and the industry. And after that week, I was like, I don't want to be in car design. It was kind of like I kind of felt I met my hero, but it wasn't quite the job that I thought it was going to be. So I then went and did illustration, fine art, and then I got a fine art degree. And then in 2008, I started painting with cars like I normally do. And then I've been doing that for 14 years, really, working.
So just going back to the I'm just looking at can we have a quick look at where we're up to with it? Looks fantastic.
We're just getting the body killer in now. So just dropping the shading, just getting the tones down here now.
That's very cool. So there's all these amazing artworks that you're doing. They're going to go into a book. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
so they're going to go into a Continuous Wheels is the book. It's on crowdfunder right now. So the idea was, when we started doing this, I didn't know how many I was going to produce. So, because I didn't know how long lockdown was going to go on for. So, being at home, I was like, right, I'll do this for as long as lockdown. And then lockdown got extended. And then I just continued. And it's very much been fan powered. Like, it's been kind of social media powered. With people suggesting cars to do and commissioning their cars to be done. And I've started to work with brands who I've worked with anyway when painting, to then produce some of their products as well. In terms of electrified and and the electric vehicles, how is that taken us? So with Tom and Nikki as well, aren't you? On electrified.
Yeah, I think what happened is, obviously I've worked for a long time as a car journalist. I sit on the World Car of the Year jury, and I've written for various publications, filmed for loads of things over the years. And I've always felt a bit of a disconnect, I guess, between some of the language that we use when we're writing or we're talking to other people who understand the industry or who are enthusiasts, to the language I use if I'm talking to my friends. So if my friends or my mum or my Auntie D wants to ask me about a car, I use a slightly different language there. And I always thought there was room for something that was just a bit more mainstream, that you don't have to be an enthusiast to access. And I think when it comes to electric and hybrid cars, the industry has done a really good job of confusing everybody, because it's just filled with acronyms. Words like BEV and FEV and MHEV and all these phrases that are popping up. We've got lots of new habits to form, lots of different things that we need to understand. So about a year ago, I put together a business plan, went out, raised some seed investment, and then I had a chat with a couple of mates of mine, with Tom Walkie Ford and with Nicky Shields, to see if they fancied getting involved. And so Electrifying came about, and it's really, I think, about bringing our background as presenters, which is, of course, we've all got a lot of experience in that. Nikki presents Formula E, she presents programme for CNN. Tom's presented Fifth Gear, he's presented Top Gear America. I've presented lots of various things over the years. So it's about producing really nice, entertaining, interesting videos, but also making sure that they're done in a language that anyone can understand. So you don't necessarily have to be a petrol head or really into your electric battery technology to access. That was really important to me. So yeah, we raised the money, spent a few months creating lots of content, filming with cars like the Mini Electric, Bentley Bentayga Hybrid. We did films with Jaguar I-Pace, Tesla Model 3. And then we got this launch date when we had everything ready and the website was built. And then the week that all that happened, we went into lockdown. So best laid plans and all that. No. But we just thought, but what can you do? You've just got to push ahead. So the site's launched and it's doing really well. So a huge thanks to everybody who's been over to say hello to us over there. We've got the YouTube channel as well. And yeah, the visitor numbers are great. We've got a really nice mix of people, got lots of women coming on to the site, which is brilliant for us as well, because I think sometimes car sites can become a bit of a boys' club, and we wanted this to be a club that's open to all. And thanks, I'm getting some really nice comments here. Oh, this is so nice. It's a brilliant idea. Trying to explain to my dad when I don't know myself is getting easier, thanks to yourselves. That's from Michael. That's so nice to hear. Yeah, and that was the whole point, Michael. That is music to my ears, because I have an Auntie D, and I always said that I want my Auntie D to understand EVs, and Auntie D is a real person. And she likes cars, but she's not willing to debate the merits of torque vectoring, for example. But she's interested. She doesn't want to buy a car just because of its colour, but she has, she wants the relevant information presented to her in a relevant way, and that's what we're hoping to do.
So in terms of the Mini, so have you got behind the wheel of the Mini yet? Have you done a little review on it? Is it out as such?
I have a full video review of the Mini Electric, which is out on our YouTube channel, and also you can find it on electrifying.com. So we've got a full review on there, and there's also a full video review that I drove on the launch, actually. And I mean, I can give it away. Please do go and watch the review. But it's a great car. It really is. If you think the original Mini was all about, it was produced at a time where there was a fuel crisis going on. It was the late 1950s, 1957. It was post-World War II Britain. And there was that thing called the Suez Crisis that had sent fuel prices soaring. And it left people wondering if those large gas-guzzling vehicles of the day made sense. And the Mini came as a direct result of that. It was a small car. It was all about optimizing space, being more fuel efficient. And actually, I think that the Mini Electric is a really great reinvention of that ethos for today. We have a similar issues going on, don't we? We have to think more about the environment. I know that electric cars don't suit everybody's lifestyle at the moment, but they do work for many of us. And I think the Mini Electric is a really great addition to the lineup of a car that is already very popular. And it's popular because it resonates with so many people. So yeah, it's interesting because I know the range is a big thing of contention on the Mini Electric. It's got quite a modest range, around 140 miles. I think we really need to start rethinking our attitudes towards range, because we actually drive around 20 miles a day. That's the average journey that we all take. And I think particularly if you look at, their experiences over the last 6 weeks, we would never have done this, would we? We would never have had a call like this. We would have probably got together. I would have come to see you doing this somewhere and chatted to you there. I've been doing filming for ITV at the moment, for a programme that's going out in a couple of weeks, and I've been doing it from home. So I think it's going to change the way we all work. And actually, I think it will mean that we don't necessarily want to make big, long journeys to go to a meeting. And we will start to realise that a car with a smaller range, like the Mini Electric, 140 miles, that you can come to and is topped up every morning, actually makes more sense. So question two, what would you rather have, Ginny, the Mini Electric or the Honda E? Right, well, I've not driven the Honda E, so I can't answer that one yet. I think off looks, I'd go for the Mini Electric, personally, but I do think the Honda E is really cute. I think the Mini Electric for me probably makes a bit more sense financially, but until I've driven both, won't really comment on that one. But we'll definitely do a head-to-head with those two cars when we can get to them both when lockdown's lifted. Yeah, so we've done a couple of different types of videos. So we're also dabbling in doing some studio videos in front of a green screen, which is you can do during lockdown, which is fantastic. And those are more like product videos, so that we can talk about things that we haven't driven yet, but give lots of information. So the VW ID3, for example, or the Honda E that somebody's just mentioned. And what that means is that we can get a video up there, get lots of good information, have a chat about it, but it's not a road test, obviously. And then we are also filming more traditional road tests as well. So yeah, who's saying hello? We've got Corey the Green. That's a cool name. Corey the Green. Hello, Corey. Hello to, oh, I can't say that one. Him Jolly. Some of these names are great. Shabby Fizz. Hello. God, you've got some much better handles than I have. So how are we doing? Where are we up to? Come on, this is.
We are getting there. We're slightly. We're nearly getting. Let's get the details onto it now. So
okay.
So just getting the wheels. Obviously, I can't remember if you mentioned what you revealed what the wheels look like.
I haven't revealed what the wheels are called, actually. Shall I reveal it now? So this particular type of wheel is called the Corona wheel. I kid you not, it is a Corona, so it's pretty apt for the moment. I think this car fits well in the book, considering that some of the proceeds are going to help with charities connected with the COVID-19 crisis. So just going back to the drawing, so just in case you've just joined us, this is a continuous car. So the outline of the car you drew in one line. Okay. Now, what do you do if you make a mistake?
Line, yeah.
What do you do? Because you must make a mistake. Do you just go on with it?
Honestly, I don't practice any of them. There's not like lots of pre-drawings of anything else. They're all done in one sitting and live in front of people. So I don't try it. I don't screw up. I just go with it. Just go with the flow, really. And after doing 260, well, we are 250 odd. Yeah. So yeah, you just kind of get used to it. They are slightly, almost like caricatures. Some of them.
They're amazing.
But,
amazing.
But no,
so,
I just did.
So I have a little boy who he gets really frustrated with making a mistake. And I'm really trying to teach him the lesson that it's okay. You just don't worry about making a mistake. How do you deal with that if you do a line wrong or something goes wrong?
So the best thing about it with continuous line is I always say is you look at where you're drawing to, not where you're drawing at. So when I'm drawing this at the beginning, I'm not looking at where the pen is. I'm looking at where I want the pen to go to.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So just as you should do when you're driving, because that's what you're always doing.
Yeah.
If you're when you're driving, you're keeping an eye on what's happening a couple of cars ahead of you, aren't you?
Yeah, and it's a bit like a driver going into a corner, like a race driver. Like you'll look at the exit point, not the entry point. Yeah. So that and really, the more if I showed you the first one I did compared to what I'm doing now, they're like two different artworks. So the more you do it, the better you get at it.
So you work on, you said at the start, you work on a massive scale normally, huge scale. So how has it been adapting your mindset to bringing everything down? Because I imagine once you're focused, there's not as much room for maneuver, is there?
I mean, the setup is very similar to how I do my paintings. So I've got an image I'm looking at, which I have anyway when I'm painting. And also all my colours, my paints are in front of me. So, and the viewer is often behind me when I'm at show. So kind of having the cameras here, it kind of gives a side profile. So I just like literally when lockdown was announced, essentially my job didn't exist. Like it just didn't exist. So I was like, right, how, and often, you know, like when you're in these kind of fight or flight situations, you kind of, you deal with it and try out new, you try out new things. So, I mean, I started doing this really, me and my wife, we went on our honeymoon to Japan. And every day we were drawing. And one of the things we did was we did continuous line drawings. So this is the book that we had out in Japan. You probably hope you can see that. So it says Japan on the front, Tomika, Osaka, Hiroshima. So these were the sketches that we were doing whilst out in Japan. So like it was buildings, it was wherever we were. The Osaka skyline here. As a train driver.
And all of those are one continuous line drawing.
Yeah. That was.
So the
Mount
Fuji
having a Chinese meal.
That's
Mount
Mount
Fuji.
Fuji. Mount Fuji is that's incredible.
Yeah, and that was looking at Mount Fuji whilst doing it. Yeah, that was at top of Mount Fuji. So
you're getting quite
done in January. These are, and then this is the.
You've got Jolly from
Subaru STI.
Yeah.
So that's the first car I did. That was the Subaru STI, and then that was a better version of it. That's the 22B Subaru.
And that was in.
And that's January 6th.
And that was in Japan.
Yeah.
Amazing. You're getting quite a few requests to draw people. So Jolly from Australia, hi Jolly, who is saying, could you please draw him? Do you do people do you do people or just cars?
Generally it's cars. I have done a few people. If you look back at my Instagram, I've done a few. I've done like the Mr. Bean character and whatever. So generally it's as it's continuous car drawings. It's cars. I'm kind of concentrating on. That's the
clue is in the title, really, isn't it? Right. Should we say hello to a few more people? So Corey, hi Corey, saying hope keeping safe. And watching the car review, and he's watching the videos on YouTube. Thank you so much, Corey. We hope you're keeping safe as well, because it is a bit of a weird time at the moment, isn't it? I think everybody's having good days and bad days. So yeah, there was Jolly from Australia. There's Michael. He likes to have a catch up on YouTube, watch the videos with a glass of Rioja. That's good. That's my kind of wine as well. Cool. Yeah. How are you finding the whole time at the moment? So what are you missing? So I've been talking to people a lot about the things that we all really want to do when we get out of lockdown. Yeah. And the cars that we want to drive, and the roads that we want to drive on.
Yeah.
What if you could have your dream car when you get out of lockdown? What would you choose, and where would you go in it?
Well, obviously, I'd love a Mini GP3. Georgina, if you're listening.
Actually, if you could have 2 of those, please, that would be great. I'll have one too.
Obviously, I mean, I'm very lucky. I part own. I got access to I've got a Morgan 3-wheeler.
Brilliant.
So I love the 3-wheeler, and if I can get out in the 3-wheeler and have some fun in it, I'd love to, because that is my favourite car to drive. That is
a very beautiful car. Beautiful. So you have that as sort of a collective thing, is it?
Yeah, I co-own it. So yeah, I'm a part owner in it. So yeah, so I don't. It's not stored at my house, but I have, I own a bit of it at least.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, Georgina has just responded, and apparently your wish is her command. So consider that done.
I'm gonna email her immediately.
Yeah, and don't forget that was 2. One to each of our homes. That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
So do you have?
I drove the Mini Cooper Works, the Mini Cooper Works Clubman. And I really because that's got the same engine as the GP3, and I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, it's that Cooper Works is a fantastic car. It really does. It puts a huge smile on your face, doesn't it? We took it up. We were on the press trip over to Belgium in it, and it was wicked. It was a really cool car, really cool car to enjoy. So in terms of what's the first one you would like to jump in and have a trip in? Oh, do you know what? I think for me, it's actually just the act of driving. So I've been really sticking to, to the guidelines. The furthest I've driven has been to the supermarket. So that's in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm somebody who drives everywhere. So I also present a program called Escape to the Country. So I drive all over the place, filming for that. Like you, I'm constantly driving different cars, going on launches. I'm just out and about a lot. And it's only since I've had to spend more time at home that I've realised how much I just miss that act of driving, of putting some great music on and just driving anywhere. So that once a week trip to the supermarket, which takes me 5 minutes each way, that's just not been cutting it for me at all. So I had to make an essential journey last week, and I was in the car for 40 minutes each way. And it's probably the happiest I've been since lockdown started. And I've got a Nissan Leaf at the moment. Listen, the Nissan Leaf is a great car, has an awful lot going for it. It's not going to set your world on fire. It's hardly taking to the road in a, nice 911 or a Taycan or a mini electric, something with a bit of fun. But that Nissan Leaf on that drive, with some of my favourite music, I was so happy. And I think that's what I've realised is at the moment, it's going to be less about what car it is and just more about the fact having that freedom to drive again.
I've got an interesting story about this, only.
Oh yeah, is it clean?
No, I've got it. Helped me set a Guinness World Record.
Okay, go on.
So I got the Guinness World Record for the world's largest glow-in-the-dark artwork for Nissan.
Wow!
So I painted a giant artwork which is 207 square meters, which is half the size of an aircraft hangar, with a glow-in-the-dark Nissan Leaf. Wow!
How long did that take you to do?
4 days, 5 days, 4 days, 5 days. So yeah, that was. Yeah, I mean, it's like you say, it's not a car that's going to set your world alight, but it has its own quirks and its own it's an interesting car. Yeah,
listen, it has its merits. And on Friday morning, when I went for the drive in it, honestly, it was just the joy of being back on the road in a car. Felt absolutely amazing. So yeah, but obviously there are a lot of there's so many cars that I want to drive post-lockdown, and the list is just getting longer and longer by the day. So going back to the Nissan Leaf artwork that you did, that took 5 days, can we see that anywhere? Is it displayed anywhere?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I think it's like Nissan Leaf, like glow in the dark Leaf, or I'll give you a link on Instagram. I'll send you a link. So.
Is it? But is it displayed anywhere? I mean, what happened to it? Do they have it in a huge frame in the factory up in the northeast?
Yeah, well, that was one of the thoughts about it, but it's just massive. It's massive, and the problem is that you can only view it under UV light as well. You can only see it under UV light. You can't see it in normal light.
It's quite niche, isn't it?
Yeah, very niche. It was a very niche record.
Yeah.
But we got it. It was all right. It was good.
So you got the so that takes 45 days to do. This one, how long is it going to take? 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
So I'm looking at the top now, and it is 4:46. So do I need to put a countdown on you? Do you want me to do the timer, the 10, 9, 8, 7? Apparently you also got a message here. Didn't you also do the Jaguar one at Castle Brom for JLR, which is huge?
Yes, so the Jaguar factory is covered in my artwork. Yeah, yeah. So if you go to Castle Brom factory, the artwork on the side of the building is mine.
I have been to Castle Brom and I've never noticed that, so that's going to have to be on the list next time.
Do you come off the M6?
Do you have a favourite piece that you've done, or do you have a favourite piece of work that you've done?
I always say my next artwork, always my next one. I always enjoy creating. So whatever I'm creating next. So the next one I've got, the next mini one to do is going to be the Italian job. The three they took to the roof in Italy. So
amazing.
That's the next one to do at 6 o'clock. So yeah, that's gonna look really nice. I think John Quirk is in one of these as well.
Fantastic.
So
when are you doing that?
I think though we're 6 o'clock. That one's gonna be.
There's no rest, is there? No rest up for you.
Bit of time, bit of time for a cup of tea. A bit of uploading to socials, and back again. So,
amazing. So got some. Yeah, it is. Jolly's saying that's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. And hi to Mark. Hello, Mark. The Cooks of Bram said the Nissan Glow in the Dark is rolled up in a wooden crate in a warehouse.
There we are. Yeah, that's my mum and dad.
So what's the quickest you've drawn one in? What's your record?
What, this one or my normal
On
stuff?
these, on the quick, on the quick continuous cars.
They've all. I set myself 45, like half an hour to 45 minutes. But the very first one I did was, there we are. That was the very first one I did 6 weeks ago.
Oh gosh, you've come on a lot since then, haven't you?
A little bit. Got better.
Practice.
Got better. Bit of practice. I'll just check. I'll make sure I've got the right number on this. 253. Right. Wow. So there we are. 253. So
amazing.
Thank you so much for taking part. And what's your website? So just everybody knows, what's your website? Where can people find stuff on the socials? Is it across all the socials, or what are the links?
We are electrifying.com. So keeping it simple across all the social channels, and the website is called electrifying.com. So we do keep it simple. And just let me say, you are getting a lot of love and lots of wows, and lots of that's brilliant. It does look brilliant. And also somebody saying loving the Elmer style chair. Your chair?
Oh, yeah.
Your chair? Yeah, cool.
Chair. I did have a much longer beard. I did have the beard until this morning, and I went to just trim it, and I put it on the wrong setting, so I took the whole thing off. So I did have a beard yesterday.
And Sean's asking me if I'm still part of Escape to the Country. One of the best programs on TV. Sean, thank you so much. I am, absolutely. Unfortunately, we were due to start filming this year's series of Escape to the Country the week that lockdown happened. Obviously, that's not happening at the moment. We do hope we might be back filming this year's series at some point. We're keeping our fingers crossed. But there are lots of new episodes going out of that every day on BBC One at 3 o'clock. And if you miss them, they're all repeated on iPlayer. You can get a whole bank of them on iPlayer. So there's new episodes out there at the moment. I had a couple of new episodes out last week. just be giving people a bit of escapism at the moment. So the ratings are going through the roof, which is great. But thank you for that, Sean. Let's have a look. That, my friend, is absolutely brilliant. We hold it a bit closer.
I hope you like it.
Bring it.
Yeah, of course. There we are.
That is absolutely awesome. What? I like it. I like it so much. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible.